Assalamu alaikum. This is Touhid from IECC. Very warm welcome for today's live session, especially for Canada market. So students and the parents are looking to study Canada and want to know more details about the study options, requirements, and as well as the benefit of studying Canada. So we'll discuss a lot of things regarding studying in Canada. Especially today we'll discuss more importantly about the visa requirements as well as the documentations you should prepare for your visa application. So আসসালামু আলাইকুম সবাইকে। আজকেও আমরা আমাদের একটা লাইভ সেশন করতে যাচ্ছি অন্যতম কানাডার একজন রেপুটেড এডুকেশন কনসালটেন্টস as well as immigrations advisor যিনি আমাদের সাথে আছেন দিবাকর শর্মা from Wilfrid Laurier ইউনিভার্সিটি। আজকে আমরা স্পেশালি ডিসকাস করব যে ভিসার জন্য যে ধরনের রিকোয়ারমেন্ট গুলো দরকার হয়ে থাকে স্টুডেন্টদেরকে, কিভাবে তারা প্রিপেয়ার করবে নিজেদেরকে, তাছাড়া স্কলারশিপের জন্য আমরা কি কি ভাবে নিজেকে প্রিপেয়ার করতে পারি। এছাড়াও আমাদের এখানে আজকে আমরা ডিসকাস করব উইলফ্রিড লরিয়ার ইউনিভার্সিটির যে আর্টস প্রোগ্রামগুলো আছে, হিউম্যানিটেরিয়ান প্রোগ্রামগুলো আছে, ইন্টারডিসিপ্লিনারি প্রোগ্রামগুলো আছে, এই প্রোগ্রামগুলো নিয়ে আলাপ করব। ইন বিটুইন আপনাদের যে কোনো কোশ্চেন থাকলে কানাডাতে স্টাডির ব্যাপারে, ইমিগ্রেশনের ব্যাপারে আমাদেরকে কোশ্চেন করতে পারেন। উই উইল বি হ্যাপি টু আনসার ইওর কোয়ারিজ। সো আপনাদের যে কোনো ধরনের কোশ্চেন থাকলে আইসিসি অলওয়েজ ট্রাই টু হেল্প আপনাদেরকে অনলাইনে যতটুকু সাপোর্ট দেওয়া যায়। সো থ্যাংক ইউ এভরিওয়ান। সো ইউ feel free to ask any question. So first of all, I would like to welcome Mr. Diwakar Sharma from Wilfrid Laurier University. So good morning, Diwakar bhai. How are you?
Good morning, Touhid bhai. Thank you for having me here. As usual, always very much pleased to work with you.
Thank you very much, bhai. So how things is going in Canada? So what we are looking for? So since winter is coming, so what's the COVID situation over there?
In comparison to many other countries, COVID situation is in control, and overall we have seen a little bit increase, but the governments, provinces and all territories are working together to keep the numbers down. Time to time we have been receiving information from the province, from the federal government. There are going to be certain new regulations coming for people who intend to travel to Canada. There are certain restrictions in place. There are certain new approvals which will come up. Like recently, a news release came from the government of Canada, and it said anyone who intends to travel to Canada should download a particular app, which is called Arrive Can app, right? So anyone who wants, like I have that app on my phone, and I'll say anyone who wants to come should certainly download. This is what that app will look like, right? So when you download this app, you'll be able to create your account. It has a privacy information, and that information says that any traveler who intends to come to Canada is required at entry into Canada to fulfill the requirements under the Quarantine Act and or fulfill a request by the screening officer, quarantine officer, or any other public health official. So what they want to know is wherever you're coming from, did you had any exposure of COVID? Were you in touch with anyone who had it? So they want all that information upfront. Any personal information that is requested during the 14-day quarantine is also essential. What I've heard from some people who have recently traveled, that the government officials are checking on them. They come to verify that the person is at home or not. So when you arrive, for sure you have to stay 14 days in a quarantine situation right now, irrespective of your status in Canada. You could be a citizen, you could be a permanent resident, a visitor, a worker. These are applicable to every particular individual place.
Thank you, bhai, for sharing the very important information for international students. It is really important nowadays you update yourself regarding the quarantine formalities as well as the other formalities for Canada before you leave your country. So as Danny bhai mentioned, most of the students need to fill up a fill up a form and give them a plan that how they are adjusting in a new place, how they are making their quarantine plan, and who will support them, how will they support them before, because otherwise it's very difficult to international students to travel Canada at this moment without proper planning and providing all necessary information. So as Danify mentioned, if any student willing to go Canada at this moment who got the visa previously, please contact with us so that we can guide you the all the formalities you required before you travel to Canada.
Yep.
So, Danibhai, as you know, we already discussed regarding how to select your program, how you should consider about the university you are going to study. So, there are most important part in this reason regarding the visa. There are a lot of worries about the visa, whether they will get the visa or not, what the actual financial requirements, how they should write their personal statements. So, what's the general things that Canadian High Commission usually take in applications that they consider this is a genuine student, and what are the key factor for any student to prepare themselves for the visa, especially for South Asian countries and especially for Bangladesh where there is no SDS is implemented at this moment.
Yep. First of all, I would like to say here is any student parent who is watching this live video, they should connect with Tawheed and Team IECC because these guys are experts in helping you out how to process the visa formalities. And I have full confidence in the ability of Tawheed Bhai and his team. On the second step now, what a visa officer looks in an application. So by law, which is called IRPA, Immigration Regulation and Protection Act, our immigration officers, whenever they are looking at any application, be it for visitor visa or a tourist visa or a study permit, what they're trying to figure out is what if this person has been granted the right to enter Canada, will never leave it. So irrespective of your category of application, study or work or visit, they will still assess you in comparison to a future permanent resident. So that means every application goes through deep scrutiny, right? So be prepared for that. What they look for in a study permit application. So first of all, they want to see whoever the applicant is a bona fide student or not. So we can say this is very vague. Yes, it could be vague, but the immigration officers have the right to verify your claim of being a student if you have a longer gap period. If your grades were not good in your home country at high school level, if you're coming for master's program that at an undergraduate degree level, if your grades were not good, they are going to question that you couldn't secure high-end grades in your own home country and you think you will be successful in Canada. That would be a question mark for them. That's the first step. If you have had gaps, I know in my past visits to Bangladesh, many times students have said that there have been hartals happening at the universities and their sessions have been prolonged. This is still something which the visa officers don't understand, and they don't see that in a very positive way unless and until you go through an immigration consultant like Tawheed Bhai or any company like IECC that they can help you draft your documents in a way which reflects the reality, right? If you write a statement that I was in this program and then there was this hartal and I couldn't continue my studies, has no value if there are no documentary evidence provided with it. So when I say documentary evidence, you need to provide supporting documents. This could be in the form of circulars or notices given by your college or university that this is the reason why exams couldn't take place and they've been prolonged. So that will help you in establishing your case as a bona fide student. Get support letter from your school. And if the school says that X student is a good student and has secured good grades from our institution, visa officer will look at that in a very positive manner. Get reference letters from your teachers if you can. And yes, you will get a letter from the school, from the principal, but if you can get something from your teachers also, stating that this student has accomplished something, has achieved some grades, has done extraordinary work, that will strengthen your application. So this is the basic framework. Most of the time, when visa officers look at the application, the chances when they refuse it could be that they're not satisfied on the financial part. So financial part plays a major role. And in certain countries like Bangladesh, because we don't have a proper taxation system, and we there is a system, but that system does not reflect what North American organizations are looking at, especially the visa offices. So what they want to see is what taxes have been filed by your parents. You can have assets, you can have properties, but if you have all those properties and assets, but when legally they look at the taxation, it doesn't match, then it would be considered a disproportionation of assets. Other alarming factor for them to refuse is just before application of your visa, if you end up putting larger deposits in your bank account, they will not consider it. So any new deposit which is larger than the normal in the last 6 months before you apply for your study permit is done in your account, that will go negatively in case of a visa process. So what we recommend is if you want to study overseas, plan ahead, have multiple resources. You can have fixed deposits. You can have liquid assets in many different forms, which I'm sure Toyd Bhai always and his team always tell people to maintain to satisfy the financial aspect for the visas. Then the third clause many times they say is we are not satisfied because of the travel history. So this is something which a lot of people wonder as to why they're asking about this question, because in most of the Asian countries, travel is not part of our daily routine or our life. Travel, even today, if we say, I plan to go travel somewhere, people will look at us as like, why? You're wasting time and money in traveling? Whereas in the Western world, it's part of the regular procedures, right? What the visa officer wants to know through the travel history is, have you left your home on a visa to any other country and returned back to your home country within the time frame or not? That actually helps them in establishing that you have a travel history. But if you dig deep in that, which countries are they looking for in your travel history? And these countries are not the easy one for everyone to travel. So they're looking for if you have traveled to US, if you have traveled to UK, if you have traveled to Canada, Australia, or New Zealand. These are the group of 5 countries that can help you to get your study permit or any kind of visa to Canada if you have gone to any of them. If you have traveled to Thailand and got a visa on arrival, that's not counted for. But in our case, in case of students from Bangladesh and some other places, there are many students who have fresh passports. They have not traveled. So how will they tell them that we haven't traveled, but we still are a bona fide student? Your statement of purpose, your track record, that will help the visa officer make a logical decision in your favor. So these are the key things they look at. So you have a bona fide student status, you have your funds in order, you have satisfied them that you will be coming back because of whatever relationship you have in your home country, maybe your family, maybe the business of your parents. There's another category which is very crucial, that is health. So you will go through a medical check. So if you go through the medical check and by chance you have something which you were not aware of, and if it's not a major thing, then the immigration will tell you to go through extra tests, extra medical examination. And if they're satisfied, they will issue you a visa. But if there are anything in your medical reports which says that it will hamper you to be able to establish yourself in Canada easily, that could also become a chance for refusal. These are the main categories which are being considered by the visa office.
So thank you, Danny Bhai, for elaborating all the key facts for getting visa and how should they prepare. I will also like to add more details about the visa requirements, especially for Bangladesh students, because we are getting lot of queries. So before we proceed further, we already received couple of questions. So I would like to answer them first with Danny Bhai, and then I will discuss more about the visa requirements and how students should prepare from Bangladesh to for your better understanding. First of all, I think we got question from Mr. Asian Khan that do you have any MBA without GMAT options, Danny bhai?
No, we have MBA and we need GMAT. there is a possibility for students from Bangladesh to get into a pre-MBA program, and in that pre-MBA program, you can come to Laurier, and GMAT training would be part of that program. So once you finish pre-MBA and achieve a GMAT score, then you can get into our MBA program.
Okay, so for pre-MBA, do students still need to have GMAT?
When they're doing the pre-MBA, they will be trained for the GMAT program, and yes,
Okay.
they will appear. Yeah, it's not waived off.
Okay. And then Ms. Farah Kabir asks like if Canadian University accepting student for masters. I think they're accepting student for both masters and undergrad as well. So acceptance is not an issue. You can apply and you can start your class online at this moment till the situation improve and the visa office is open, right, bhai?
Totally, totally. Canadian universities, like any other university, wants quality international students, and yes, they all accept students for the master's program.
Okay. And then we got another questions for Ehsan, like what's the basic cause that's why our visa going to refuse. As Danibai spoke a lot of things, I will elaborate little more very soon, so stay with us. And I think till now we got this thing. So আপনারা যারা আরো কোশ্চেন করতে চাচ্ছেন কানাডার স্টাডির ব্যাপারে ভিসার ব্যাপারে আমাদের সাথে কোশ্চেন করতে পারেন, আমরা এর মধ্যে ডিসকাস করব আপনার ইস্যুগুলো নিয়ে. So now I would like to highlight some of the key points that you should consider regarding your admissions in Canada, as well as how you should prepare yourself for the visa. So first of all, as Danibhai mentioned, I would like to separate it in two ways, like what High Commission look for, whether you are genuine student or not, first of all, and second of all, whether you are genuine temporary entrant or not, like if you are serious student or not, and second thing is whether you are going to come back after finishing your degree to Bangladesh or in your home countries if you are applying for other countries. So in order to show you that you are a serious student, as Danibhai mentioned, your previous academic performance is one of the key indicator. Like if you finish your undergrads or your high school with good grades, it is always a positive side. Your IELTS score or TOEFL score or Duolingo scores is also a great indication that you will do well when you are studying in Canada, because your English proficiency is very good, because you are going to a English spoken country. Your language is very important. Sometimes lot of visa refusal happens due to the low IELTS requirement, low IELTS scores, or you don't have the IELTS score at all. There are a lot of confusion among students, and we are getting so much queries that whether we could apply without any English test or not. Though few of the Canadian institute might get you offer with your previous background or including English program, but it is always negative things to apply without IELTS or with a very low English score. So this is one of the main reason that we are getting so many refusal or seeing so many refusal from the student who are coming to us after refusal that they applied through very low IELTS score or with a very poor academic result. Then if you are a serious student, you should consider a good institution where you get the proper value in future. So most cases what happen, you have a good degree, you finish your high schools or bachelor from a reputed university in Bangladesh, but you are going in a very low grade university in overseas, especially in Canada, like some low colleges, or there is no match with your previous academic background to the new program. So suppose you finish your degree here from engineering, now you are going for a chef or you are going for a hospitality management. There is no link between your previous academics with your new study plan. So this is one of the reason that we are getting so many refusal, because you are applying a low grade college or university and you are applying a totally unrelevant subject that don't match with your previous academic or professional life. Secondly, sometime what happened, you got a couple of degree previously in the same similar field, but later you also want to apply in the same field again. Suppose you have an MBA already, you just finish it this year or 1 year before, you are applying the similar course again. So it's also create doubt in High Commission's mind whether why you need another degree in the similar field. So you have to be very careful choosing your subject and the program. You need to justify why you choose this program and how it will benefit you in future. Second things that the locations and your research about the university as well. Sometimes we see in the refusal or when students come to us that they don't explain anything about the university, about the program or the places why they study there. They just got the offer from an institution and applied for them without any research. So you need to do proper research and it should reflect in your study plan that why you choose this institution and how this program is benefited to you and why this location is important for you, how you will adjust in a new environment. So these all things will add you in your seriousness is part of the students, like if you are a serious student or not. And second important part, whether you are going to return back to your home country or not, it also depends on your social and financial status as well. Like your Danivai mentions about the travel history. Travel history could be both the positive way and negative way. Like if you are good travelers, you travel many part of the world, it will always give a good indication to High Commission's mind that you will definitely come back again after study, after you completing your study. And if you have so many refusal, previously you have a Canadian refusal or US refusal, it will also give a very negative impression to High Commission's mind that you previously tried to go with other visa. Since you failed in that, then you are trying to go to study visa. So it's sometime we see the travel history is also mentioned in the refusal letter. So that means that whether you have less travel or you have previous refusal as well. So it could be both way in travel sections. And another important things is the ties. Like suppose you have less ties in Bangladesh than Canada. You 3-4 brother live in overseas, and you are the only one remaining in Bangladesh. So that's also create doubt to High Commission's mind whether you are going to return back or not. Or your brother or sister went to Canada, they just don't complete their study, their status is illegal, or they claim for asylum. So sometimes they will take it very negatively. So there are a lot of things to consider. And second important things in this part, as I mentioned, is the financial status in Bangladesh, whether your parents are very financially solvent or not, what they are doing, what their regular income is, are they are able to afford your study or not. So you need to present your financial status very strongly. Not only the account, not only the balance you have in your account, but also the source of the balance, as Danivai mentioned, that you just you can't just keep the money in your bank account without any proper evidence, like how you accumulated this fund, whether it's for long time savings or not, whether you sold your properties or not, whether your father get it from the retirement benefit or not. So you need to explain the source of the fund. Second thing is what's the regular income of your parents. So after giving you the fund, whether they could survive in Bangladesh or not, that's also a key indicator. Like if your fund, if your parents have only limited amount of money, if they give all this to you, so then it's difficult for your family to survive. So you should have a very good regular income sources as well, so that they can support you as well as they can support themselves and your other siblings as well. Otherwise, High Commissions thinks that they could not afford your study and you have to rely on part-time job or other sources to maintain your financial status. So there are a lot of things we consider regarding like different sources, like any rental incomes, any share incomes, as well as the business and the services as well. So please discuss with us regarding your financial status so that we can advise you how you could improve your possibilities of making sure that the High Commission is satisfied with your financial status, so that you don't have to face any problem in your financial status. And they also look at the social status of your parents as well, whether they hold any key position in a government or non-government organizations, whether they are member of any reputed clubs like Thakka clubs or Gulshan clubs or so on. So whether they have a good travel history or not. Parents' travel history always helps, so that High Commission thinks that your parents are financially solvent, they are frequent traveler, and they know the overseas condition as well. So they motivated you for study abroad. So there are a lot of things you need to prepare, and when you prepare early and when you highlight all the key aspects as Danny and I mentioned regarding your study as well as financial condition. There is very unlikely that you got refusal, because Canadian government's also looking welcoming international student. I think, to my point of view, more than any other developed countries, they are giving special facilities to students. They are updating students more frequently than the other countries in this COVID situation. So there is no second thought that they want to welcome international students, but you need to present your case why they should take you and why they should consider you as a temporary entrant. So if you could not justify, then it sometimes make issue. But most cases we don't have any refusal for Wilfrid Laurier University, because most cases, this is one of the reputed universities over there, and we prepare them very easily. And in fact, their parents also got visa later on. They went to meet their children as well. So if you present your file properly and choose right institution, explain your situation properly, there is no way you could get refused. So and if some cases there is some exception, we always challenge high commissions, like this kind of information we don't provide my earlier application, or there is some error or judgment, we can always reapply if you are genuine student and if your documents are authentic. But if you provide any illegal documents or non-genuine documents, there is a high risk that you could be banned for 3 to 5 years. So you should consider regarding the authenticity of your documents as well. So as I mentioned, there are a lot of things a student need to consider. So every case is different. So there are thousands type of business in Bangladesh. There are thousand type of jobs in Bangladesh. So every jobs and business need to add additional documents as per their businesses, as per their jobs. So I would highly encourage you. We got a big team to support our students to prepare their documents more smoothly and easier way. So contact with us so that we can guide you regarding the visa requirements and so on. So I think we got another questions like the education sector. Anyway, I want to listen from Touhidul sir or Sharma sir about the profile of potential. My parents have the first class government employee in education sector. So anyway, since his parents is working in a first class government employee in education sector, so yeah, I think there is a good possibility if you can present yourself properly regarding your financial requirements, you can show that you will return back.
Definitely, it does help. Parent background will certainly help this particular candidate. And I am actually impressed with what you have shared just now on visa and a lot of things about to the students. I will say Touhid and the team knows how to help you secure your visa. So please contact them and trust their input and their experience. And I can add on two things, which are recently the Canadian government has said that they might be changing Canadian immigration norms for international students. So that means the government is considering again to adopt a new policy which will favor international students who are coming to universities. So keep that in mind, and in future you might hear some good news about it. The other aspect which Touhid Bhai very well opened up is about misrepresentation of facts. If you fabricate any document and if a misrepresentation is done on any of your application, you are debarred to apply for a visa up to 5 years. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
Okay, so Ikram also share his profile, like he got CGPA 3.02 and got IELTS 7.5, and he already explained his financial condition. To me, if we present your file properly, since you got good CGPA as well as IELTS score, and both of your parents are working in government institutions, you got very good chance for getting visa as well as getting admission to any reputed university, including Wilfrid Laurier University. So I would encourage you, Mr. Akram, to contact with us with documents, because for master's application we need to prepare some additional documents like your personal essays as well as your references. So please contact with us so that we can make your case strongly to university as well as embassy. So Danny bhai, we got a few questions regarding some of the students who don't at all speak in English. There is there any possibilities for visa? So আমার মতে যারা ইংলিশ একেবারে বলতে পারেন না, উইদাউট আইএলটিএস অ্যাপ্লাই করতে চাচ্ছেন, তাদের জন্য একটা ভেরি ডিফিকাল্ট আসলে ভিসা পাওয়াটা। কারণ আপনি ইংলিশ স্পোকেন কান্ট্রিতে যাচ্ছেন, আপনি যদি if you can't speak English or if you can't write or read English properly, then there is a really doubt in High Commission mind how will cope up with the new environment. So in this situation আমি এনকারেজ করব না যারা ইংলিশে দুর্বল তারা কানাডাতে বা যে কোনো ইংলিশ স্পোকেন কান্ট্রিতে অ্যাপ্লাই করেন। কারণ আপনি যদি ভিসাও পান, আপনি পরবর্তীতে স্ট্রাগল করবেন, কারণ আপনাকে তো পড়াশোনাটা চালিয়ে যেতে হবে। ইফ ইউ ক্যান cope up with your study, it will be a great tense situation for you as well as your parents. Your whole money will be wasted. So if you are weak in English, what I would encourage not to apply for any English spoken countries. So Danny bhai, as we are discussing, there are a lot of subjects in Canada. Traditionally in Bangladesh or India, basically we get we are getting some particular subject queries more like business, engineering or IT. But in Canada, there are a lot of demands for other subjects, especially in social sciences, humanitarian subjects, and interdisciplinary subjects. And Wilfrid Laurier have a very good collections of wide range of subjects. So can you tell us a little bit the other subject students should focus? You already mentioned previously that there are some particular subjects that like the business technology and other particular subject that is really coming up in addition to traditional subjects. So what is your suggestions regarding the other subject and those students just coming as you know in Bangladesh this time HSC exam not held, most of them will get the result by their performance in SSC and their result will come out in December. So what are the subject prospective students should consider or look into Canada regarding the traditional in addition to the traditional subjects?
Yeah, many options are available for our international students to succeed really well in Canada. Our High Commissioner of Canada based in India is a Laurier graduate, right? So he did his bachelor's degree from Laurier, then went to other institutions. We have had people who have gone to really high-end positions and succeeded. So in our Faculty of Arts, Liberal Arts, and Human and Social Sciences, we have many programs which you should look at. But I personally would like you to consider programs from where your career can start. Not only a degree, but you can actually secure a job. This is what most of our international students want to know. Will I succeed with this degree or not? So I'll say, take a look at our bachelor's degree in community health. Okay. Anyone who wants to get into health administration should look into that degree. There is no requirement of science background for you. So if you go into community health, that means you'll be able to work in hospitals, you'll be able to work in hospices. So these are certain places where pay packages also increase really well. Even under this pandemic, provinces have given bonuses to people who have been working in this sector. So you should look at community health. You should look at criminology if you're interested in securing your career in the law field. You can look at health administration. So that's something where you'll be working again in the hospital sector and you'll be managing the administrative part of the health department. You should look at human rights and human diversity. That degree can help you succeed and become a lawyer or a human rights expert. You can look at degrees like law and society. You can look at a program like youth and children's studies. So a lot of people sometimes want to ask about teaching programs. So I will say youth and children's studies will always in high demand. This is a program which will lead you to work in schools, in daycare centers, and generate high employment chances for you. So look at those programs. Digital media and journalism. If you're inquisitive, if you know that this is the right field for you, the time has changed. There was a time when print journalism was the number one and people used to pick up newspapers every day, but trends have changed. And now we are more focused on the digital content. So digital media and journalism is actually invading everywhere and every aspect. So you should look into that particular program. Entry requirements are like English at 75% overall, you'll be able to get in the program. Then game design and development. So these days, gaming is a very important subject, not only at universities or colleges, but at all levels. Industries now have gaming part of their business expansion. So if you work in military, you need to know how gaming modification helps you, right? Uh, what are the most popular content these days? So what are people waiting for? November 12th is a date which a lot of kids in North America are waiting. They're waiting for the PlayStation 5 to be launched. Why? How expensive is that? But still people are waiting. $800 for that PlayStation. But this is an industry. If you get into it, develop games, make games, you can achieve a long lasting career in game design and development. Then there is a program, we call it International Education Studies. Very unique program. You're not getting a teacher with that program. You learn every aspect of education. So structure, people in the world. So school administrations, universities in future will need staff members who will know how to assess different course curriculums, and they will need to know, oh, this student came from Bangladesh, he has studied in this school system, how that school system works there. So someone needs to know the equivalencies and be able to accept those different curriculums. So that's another program you should look at. You can look into, if you're creative, you can look into programs like film studies. You can take a minor in communication studies. You can take a program in global studies, political science. You can take in philosophy. You can take in women and gender studies. There are lots of options for the international students to look at. We have a partnership with University of Sussex, and the program is a law degree from University of Sussex, UK, and you can get a degree in arts from Laurier. You can take a BA in criminology or a human rights and human diversity program from us and get the law degree from UK. So it's a 6 year long program. First 2 years, students are going to be in Canada. Third, fourth year, they can go to UK. Fifth, sixth year, they can be back in Canada. And then they'll save time and money and they can be a lawyer in the Commonwealth countries. Then there's another program which we highly promote is user experience design. That program comes up with about 12 to 16 months of paid co-op opportunity. So international students who are creative, they have the skill sets, they should look into that program. Most of the organizations are now hiring people with UXD exposure. So that these are some of the programs we have in our Faculty of Arts and Liberal Arts.
Okay, so that's a really interesting fact. There are a lot of subjects, especially in technology fields and other game developings and other technology side as well. So that's really good to know. So Danny bhai, you got also interdisciplinary program. Sometimes student little bit confused about this program and which is for which student it should be best match. So could you please tell us about the interdisciplinary program
There
you
are
have?
many programs actually of interdisciplinary level, and these are normally for students who either don't have a math score or those who are not sure which field they want to go for. So what we call them is it's like design your degree. So you can enter, let's say, BA in archaeology and heritage studies. That could be your main focus, and your minor could be cultural studies, or you can take a minor in North American studies or philosophy. So those would be some interdisciplinary programs, and that option actually is available in literally all faculties. So you can get into a program called BSc Psychology or a BA Psychology and still have a management option or a leadership option, and then also get multiple specializations. So those are the programs.
Okay, so that's the really important fact for Canadian studies, especially for undergrad students. If they are not sure about their preferred subject initially, they can do a generic subject in first years, and later after going there, they can choose their majors later date. So that if they can take a proper decision after going there, what's their career plan and so on. Because sometimes after just finishing their high school, they are not sure about their career plan, and they tend to do some mistakes. But if you do a generic program in first year, and then you can decide your major later on, it will be more informed decisions. So there is another important question by it's among the students as well as for other professionals in mind, that is it like mandatory that they should use a representative or lawyer for their visa application and so on, so or they can apply through by themselves as well. So I will discuss this later on. So what your say in this topics?
It's the student's choice, right? So we cannot push a student that you should come here or you should go to one particular person or not. But on this, my advice is that you are going to take a very important decision for your career, for your progress. If you're not sure as to what you're going to do, it will always help to reach out to an expert like Touhid and Touhid's team at IECC, because they know this business. They know how visa work has been done. They are being in this industry for a long time. So they are here to advise you, right? And when they can provide you guidance, you should be able to secure your visas. Because if you go on your own and you get a refusal once, that creates a trail, and that might make it difficult for you to get a visa in future. So it's always good to start with someone who is well established in the industry. That's my take.
Yeah, so definitely. So as Akram mentions, you don't have to go to an immigration lawyer or student advisor for your applications. It is not only for the student visa. For any visa, there is no mandatory requirements that you have to take help from a professionals. But as university as well as High Commission also know the importance of a professional advisor. So that's why across the globe there is some approval education agent as well as immigration advisor. They are submitting your file professionally. Sometime with due to one line of misinterpretation, your visa might be refused, or sometime you have some key advantage compared to the other student, but you could not explain in your visa applications, and that's why you don't get the visa, because there is a high competition for a international student to getting visa in a popular country like Canada. Most importantly, sometimes what's happened for getting your admission to university is also difficult. The personal essay you write, you should write. You have to be maintain some certain rules and regulation in your essay writing. How you should arrange your documents. So if you are good enough to know everything by yourself, and you can prepare and feel comfortable yourself that you can do of all the things of your own, you can do that. But other than that, if you want to be less hassle free and want to submit your file professionally, then you can take help from a education advisor or immigration lawyer who not only helping you in this way, they also have to maintain some professionalism as well as some compliances due to their agreement with the university as well as the relation with the High Commission. So you could be assured that your file will be submitted more professionally, and it will be rechecked not only by you, it will be rechecked by professionals who also care about the, your success in Canada. And education is a career, not only just you get admissions or get your visa. You need to choose your subject carefully, as we are discussing. So as a education advisor, we will discuss about the career opportunities, like which subject and program you should choose, your in terms of the costings, in terms of the locations, as well as the after finishing your study, what you could do. Like sometime in Canada there, as we discussed in our previous episode, like your program durations might lead you to the post-study work experience duration. So if you go to 1 year or less than 1 year's program, you are not getting the full 3 years work permit or so on. Sometime your program might not have the co-op opportunities, but other similar program might have the co-op opportunities that will give you extra advantages Canada. So there are a lot of things to consider where an education advisor can guide you regarding regarding your plans so that you get the best possible outcome when you are investing a lot of money for studying overseas. So I think you got your answer. That is totally up to you whether you want to take a professional help or you can do it by yourself as well. So feel free to contact us if you have any further queries. And then we got a question for Mr. Nuruzzaman Tarek. He got IELTS, he got in fact Duolingo 110. So one module got 75. So first of all, Danny, are you accepting Duolingo test at this moment?
Yes, it is being accepted.
Okay, so Nuruzzaman, we please share whether you want to study for undergrad undergrad subject or masters. Then we will be better positioned to answer your queries. But so far, I think you can apply if you are undergrad student with 110. You can apply for bachelor's program with your current Duolingo test. And Wilfrid Laurier University not only have the direct entry options, but if you have less IELTS, you can always include English program with your main program. So English should not be a problem for undergrad student. Or if you need any further information, feel free to contact us. তো আপনারা যারা আমাদের সাথে আছেন, আপনারা এইভাবে আমাদেরকে কোশ্চেন করতে থাকুন। আমরা আপনাদের কানাডাতে স্টাডির ব্যাপারে, বিষয়ের ব্যাপারে আনসার করার চেষ্টা করব। তো এর মধ্যেও যদি আপনাদের কোনো কোশ্চেন থাকে, তো গুড নিউজ হচ্ছে ডিওলিঙ্গো এখনো উইলফ্রেড লরিয়ার ইউনিভার্সিটিতে অ্যাকসেপ্ট করছে। আপনারা যারা ডিওলিঙ্গোর প্ল্যান করছেন, আপনারা ডিওলিঙ্গো দিয়েও এখানে অ্যাপ্লাই করতে পারছেন। এবং যাদের আইএলটিএস স্কোর বা ডিওলিঙ্গো স্কোর বা পিটি স্কোরটা কম আছে, তারা অ্যাডিশনাল ইংলিশ কোর্স নিয়েও এখানে ভর্তি হতে পারবেন। সো নুরুজ্জামান, আপনি অলরেডি আমাদেরকে মেনশন করেছেন আন্ডার গ্রাজুয়েট আপনি, তো সেক্ষেত্রে আপনার কোনো প্রবলেম হচ্ছে না। ইউ ক্যান অ্যাপ্লাই উইথ ইউর ডিওলিঙ্গো কোর্স. So please provide your number. We'll contact you soon to give you more updates. So Danny bhai, another important question we frequently ask, or whenever you visit to Bangladesh and meet any student in particular, they ask for scholarships. So there are a lot of queries about the scholarship and so on. So what's the key indicator or what's the key documents university look for the scholarship applications?
Yeah. It's a very valid question for students. Scholarship is crucial. It does help them to decide where they want to study or not. We at the university have many kind of scholarships available. The first lot is called entrance scholarship. That means we will give you that scholarship directly on the basis of your high school average. So whatever grades you have had secured in your high school, that will enable you to get some scholarships from our end. So from anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000, they would be automatically given. Then there's a second kind of scholarship where once you have been accepted by the university, then you can apply for those certain scholarships at a later stage. So those scholarships are there. Right now, we have come up with a new scholarship where the students will be eligible to get about $10,000 worth of scholarships as well. So this is going to be a new scholarship at Wilfrid Laurier University, where the students, when they have applied and if they get accepted, they'll be put into a pool of scholars, and depending on their highest level of average, they can secure that new scholarship of $10,000. So that's something which we have started, and it would be applicable for all our new students. And another thing I want to add on this is, once you have been accepted to the program, you have been given certain scholarships, even while you're studying at the university, from time to time, you can apply for new scholarships and bursaries on the regular basis. So the funds are available for students.
So that's good to know that Wilfrid Laurier is increasing the scholarship, and as Danny bhai mentioned, first of there are a lot of scholarship, fast entrance scholarship based on your academics, and if you are looking for more scholarship, you need to apply separately. And what are my points on this, that university usually look 6 to 7 facts while considering the scholarship, like your academic performance, your English proficiency, as well as your personal essays, and your extra scores, like if you have a SAT or not. And then they will also look upon your extracurricular activities, if you are a debate club member or not, if you have any special qualification in sports or not. Then they also look for the recommendations of your teachers, so either how they feel about you, how you are a perfect candidate for scholarship. So there are a lot of things to consider. So there are a big number of scholarships in Canada, and the main points, you are not getting any scholarship without applying. So if you apply for scholarship, then definitely you will get something, and you should consider multiple options, not only a single university or single program and so on. So in Canada in particular, we always encourage students to apply multiple institutions where they qualify, so that they can maximize their chance of admission as well as getting scholarship and so on. So please share your profile with us, and we will give you the options like what are the maximum scholarship you could get from your current academics and other background you have, so that you be in mind. And there are also some factors, like some university offer scholarship, but the tuition fees is very high, or they located in very remote area where you can't do any part-time job to support your study. So if some university offering a reasonable tuition fees and it's located in a metropolitan city where there's a great job opportunities, you can be handy with your part-time job and manage your study cost as well with that. But other than that, if your university is too expensive and they just give you little scholarship, so sometimes it's very difficult for you if to manage as well. So that's why you need to consult with a professional, so that they can guide you how you could manage your study cost in Canada. As Danify and we discussed a lot of things about the co-op, like in Wilfrid Laurier University, you got several co-ops during your studies, from where you are not only getting the Canadian experience, you are earning as a full-time employee of that company. So not only scholarship, you can gain money from the co-op by doing co-op programs as well. So please discuss with us regarding what is your financial condition and what are the budget you are looking for, so we could give you the right solution of your needs. And if you are not looking for any scholarships, but willing to go for a very high demanding university, then we can also guide you on that depending on your academic performance. So Danify, as we discussed, like how students should apply the Wilfrid Laurier University, it's getting competitive and so on. So there is a Ontario application system. So sometimes student little bit confusing, because in some other country they don't have to create a profile, they just need to email the documents to the university and university is getting back to them. But in Canada, most cases student have to create a profile and apply. So could you please elaborate a little bit the application process for Wilfrid Laurier University, so that the student can have a little bit idea how should they prepare their applications?
Yeah. Before jumping on that, I will just say to all our students here that please go to Wilfrid Laurier University's website, and on our international link, you will be able to download this Wilfrid Laurier University's view book, easily downloadable, so that you can see what we have, what we offer, all entry requirements and everything. So Touhid Bhai has validly said that yes, our process is through Ontario University Application Center. So you should apply there online on that particular platform. You will get information on your email. So your confirmation of application email contains your login information. Okay, so you will get all of that. For Lauris, Lauris is Laurier's online registration and information system. So a current Laurier student will contact you to see if you have questions. So that's some sections which will be there. After that, you submit your documents. All supporting documents are submitted electronically using the Laurier system. So we no longer accept any document via email. It has to be uploaded there. You will upload your transcripts. You will upload an unofficial copy of your transcript in English that shows your current course, enrollment, and grades. So that's what they're looking for. You submit the application, your background summary form, submit the online form in Laurier within 2 weeks of applying. And after that stage, you will accept the offer. Okay. Confirm your offer by June 1st, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. unless another date is noted on your offer of admission. So that's how we will look at the entire process.
Okay, so meanwhile, Farah Kabir also asked, can he study psychology with a BA degree to your university?
Yes, there we offer a BA program in psychology, but the major difference is psychology is part of sciences in Canada. It's not part of Faculty of Arts, Liberal Arts. So if you want to go for a BA in psychology program, we need English and math, and you must have studied that in your school level to get into that program. If you want to go for BSc psychology, we have a wonderful program called neuroscience psychology. If you want to go for that, you must have English, math, and biology.
Okay, so then if I think they need a application fees for Laurier University when they apply through the Ontario application system. What's the current application fees for your university?
So if you look at the fee there, it's 150 plus some other incidental expenses. So you're looking at anywhere between 200 and above to apply to Wilfrid University.
Yes, and the most important thing and helpful information for the student who already applied, they can also come to us and get your further guidance, like if you want to increase your possibilities for scholarships or you just need your visa assistant, then we can also apply to those student as well who already applied to Laurier University. We can take your file from there. So either you can apply by yourself or you can come to our office. We will apply for you with any status. We can take your file and help you to make your journey a lot easier. And as Danny Bhai mentioned in our last videos, that if you need any assistant after reaching there, like networkings or any part-time jobs opportunities, or you are looking for a suitable accommodations, we are all here to help you how you can adjust your new environment properly. So we will guide you on that as well. So we will not lend this session more. We will have the last session of our discussion in next week. So we will go through all the key aspect we discuss in this series, and also how your journey will be there, what's the support you will get from the Laurier University, how you can do part-time jobs, or what's the key aspect that you should maintain in Canada to doing any part-time jobs, how universities international office can help you to prepare your resume and make you professionals in throughout the study in Canada. We will discuss a lot of important things, and we will also discuss in our next episode the opportunities after finishing your studies. So we'll try to help you as much as possible in our last episodes in next week. So stay tuned with us. So thank you, Danny Bhai, for your times and valuable information. I hope student and the parents will get lot of information with these sessions, and it will help them to prepare their file for Canada.
Thank you, Touhid Bhai. I'm always happy to be on this platform with you. Stay safe, and everybody reach out to Touhid Bhai and his team. They can guide you to real success. Irrespective of which university you want to choose, please contact them. Take care. Bye for now.
Take care, bye. Bye.
Bye.
তো থ্যাংক ইউ আপনারা যারা আমাদের সাথে ছিলেন আজকে। আশা করি আমাদের ইনফরমেশন সেশনটা আপনাদের জন্য হেল্পফুল হবে, স্পেশালি যারা ভিসা নিয়ে ওয়ারিড, তাদের কি কি জিনিসগুলো তাদেরকে হাইলাইট করতে হবে ভিসার জন্য, তাছাড়া তারা কিভাবে স্কলারশিপের চান্সটা বাড়াতে পারেন কানাডাতে, এছাড়াও আপনারা যে কখন অ্যাপ্লাই করবেন, কিভাবে অ্যাপ্লাই করবেন। সো দেখা যাবে যে আপনাদের জন্য এটা ইনফরমেশন হবে। আপনারা চাইলে আপনাদের ফ্রেন্ডের সাথে, ফ্যামিলির সাথেও ভিডিওটা শেয়ার করতে পারেন। নেক্সট উইকে আমরা আরো ইম্পর্টেন্ট অ্যাসপেক্ট নিয়ে যে কিভাবে কানাডাতে পার্ট টাইম জবের সুযোগটা বৃদ্ধি করা যায়, তাছাড়া অন্যান্য যে ব্যাপারগুলো থাকে সেগুলা নিয়েও আমরা চেষ্টা করব আপনাদেরকে হেল্প করার জন্য। তো আশা করি আপনাদের সব ধরনের কোশ্চেন গুলো আনসার আজকে দিতে পেরেছি। আমাদের সাথেই থাকুন। আইসিসি সপ্তাহে 6 দিনই খোলা, সকালে আপনাদের 10টা থেকে আমাদের 6টা পর্যন্ত অফিস, শুধু ফ্রাইডে এবং গভর্নমেন্ট হলিডেতে বন্ধ আছে। তাছাড়া আমরা চেষ্টা করি অনলাইনে আপনাদেরকে যথেষ্ট হেল্প করার জন্য। আপনারা চাইলে আমাদের জুমে বা স্কাইপে বা যে কোনো মেসেঞ্জারের মাধ্যমে আপনারা অনলাইনে অ্যাপয়েন্টমেন্ট নিয়ে আপনারা বাসা থেকে আমাদের কাউন্সিলিং করতে পারেন, এবং আমাদের কাউন্সিলিং টোটালি ফ্রি। আপনাদের যে কোনো ধরনের ইনফরমেশন লাগলে আমাদের কাছ থেকে শেয়ার করতে পারেন, আমরা সেটাতে আপনাদের বেস্ট সলিউশন দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করব। তো আশা করি দেখা হবে আপনাদের সাথে, আপনারা অফিসিয়াল বা ভার্চুয়ালি আমাদের সাথে কানেক্টেড থাকেন। বাকি সেই পর্যন্ত আপনারা ভালো থাকবেন, স্টে সেফ, টেক কেয়ার ইয়ারসেলফ। থ্যাংক ইউ।